Hmm. Hi, everyone. Rachel A. Gerson, Doorway to Self here. So excited to have you guys on. I want to start this talk out by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you who have been so gracious and understanding in allowing me the time and space to be able to figure out this whole hi, thanks for coming on. Um, yeah, in order to figure out this whole like scheduling and videos and all of that stuff because I really want to share this stuff with you guys. Um, and so it's all about trying to see what works best. So I would appreciate your feedback as well. If you think me just posting to YouTube works best, or doing live on Facebook, Instagram, or if the card of the week video just doesn't resonate with you at all and you'd rather see other stuff, which is also something I'm thinking about doing, is just posting weekly videos on topics of your choice. Hey, Breezy, thanks for coming on. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Let me know what's up for you, what works best for you, what resonates most with you, because that's what I'd like to provide. I don't want to use my time and energy and your time and energy if it's not, a necessary exchange. Notifications coming up. Anywho, so let's talk about the card of the week. Holy crud, this has been a heavy week. Hi, thanks for coming on. It's been super overwhelming. For me, I don't know about for you. I'd love to hear your experience this week. Yeah, it has been for you too. Um, Yeah, lots of stuff. So I was really excited when I pulled out the Eight of Pentacles. Once again, I don't have my card in my hand this time. It's been kind of crazy going from the office to the house to another house. Anyways, like I said, crazy week. So I was really excited when I pulled that card because I was like, oh, awesome. Like, this is great for creating things and it's great for, business and really bringing a lot of stuff in that capacity. And, lots of people are going to be creating all of this stuff and there's all of this energy up for all of that. And, instead, it's just kind of been like a bash over the head of like, here's all this stuff. Um, and on the one hand, it's like, oh, thank you, universe. This is amazing. All of these opportunities are incredible. And on the other hand, it's like, I really needed to make that noise for you. I hope you had headphones in because that was probably excruciating. Anywho, so yeah, it's been crazy. And that new moon, whoo-wee! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've cried as much as I have in the last couple days. Um, let's see. Um, that noise describes the past week exactly. Yep, in a nutshell, pretty much. And I think part of that is, this card was definitely picking up. Every time I pull a card for the week, it's always, for the general collective of what's coming up and what's going on. And what's really interesting is I was kind of thinking like, oh yeah, new supermoon in Gemini, that makes sense. Like communication, networking, we're going to be contacting each other, collaborating. There's going to be lots of new things opening up and, in terms of business or career or getting ahead or, whatever it is, school, whatever's coming up for you in terms of your work, maybe creative projects. And really it's just kind of been like, here's this dump truck of stuff you can try out. Let's see what happens when it all falls on your head. So it's just been a little nuts. Hey, thanks for coming on. So yeah. And in terms of that super moon, that new moon in Gemini that happened on what was it, Wednesday? I don't even have my days right now anymore either. Hey Britt, thanks for coming on. Yeah, it, you know, like I said, I thought it was going to be that huge kind of networking energy and like lots of collaboration, but really it was kind of like this whirlwind of like, okay, people are showing up, but nobody really wants to take time with each other, and it's kind of like this chaotic, like, because everybody, it seemed like everybody kind of wanted to hang out and have that socialization time, but at the same time, everybody was kind of like freaking out about everything they had to do, and then also freaking out about this lack of time for the self, and then also kind of like diving into self-care mode and using that as a means to kind of spur the brain for more creative projects. Hey, Emily, thanks for coming on. So, you know, it's just kind of like everything was conflicting almost. And it felt like there wasn't enough time in the world to do absolutely everything. There never is, but it felt especially that way this week. Like there wasn't enough time to rest. There wasn't enough time to get stuff done. And then, you know, as soon as that task kind of started to culminate and be finished, the next one would be already like there lurking in the corner, like, me next, yeah, super overwhelming. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay. It's okay. Literally everyone I know has been going through something similar in the last week. It's been super intense. And that's just all there is to it. Some weeks are more intense than others, and I know the week before that was very emotionally intense as well, so was this one, but this was like emotions plus social plus work plus like just everything all balled up in one, and kind of like this frantic like energy, versus the week before was very like slow and kind of like this sticky, muddy, like I'm using sounds today a lot, apparently. Hi, thanks for coming on. So yeah, let's see what comes up for next week, because I'm really excited. Hey, Shannon, I'm really excited for things to kind of start maybe not being so overwhelming and not being so like crazy, but from what I'm understanding, and I'll be putting an article out about this pretty soon here, things are about to get just a little bit more like this for a minute or a while, as Mars goes into retrograde in a few days, and that's also kind of what we've been feeling too. Mars is the planet of anger, passion, rage, fury, war, all of this stuff. And so when a planet goes into retrograde, basically it means that from the Earth standpoint, it appears as though the planet is moving backwards. And what that does in the Earth's magnetic pull is, because that's, you know, anger and rage and etc. is what this planet affects, it kind of helps to unearth anything that we've been hiding in the shadows of ourselves in that area. And so it's kind of like all of the anger and rage and hurt and pain and upset and all of this stuff that's been hiding under a rock for the past 6 months or the past 3 years or the past 20 years that we haven't been kind of focusing on, or that we've been allowing to hide there. All of a sudden this planet is, hey Jade, this planet is, hi Kelsey, starting to kind of like come around and be like, hey, that rock is gonna come up. Guess what's hiding under there? Oh yeah, all of your in a big heaping pile. So you get to take a nice spoon and fork and feed it to yourself and see what it tastes like and why it tastes the way it does. That was a really disgusting metaphor. I am sorry if I triggered your tongue and your taste buds just now. So yeah, that's kind of what's coming up. Which is part of why I said I haven't cried this much in like, I don't even know how long. Partially because my Mars is in Cancer, which basically means like, you know, super sensitive, in terms of like my anger, my rage, etc. Hey, Emma. It comes out in like this very kind of like guarded, like, you know, I keep it very internalized, and then all of a sudden it's like, ah! So it would really help to know where in your chart Mars is lying right now, or in general, because when you're born, it stays. I mean, that's just where it is. So if you go to cafeastrology.com, you can find a way to make to generate your natal chart or your birth chart for free. Same thing, just different words. I would definitely recommend doing that and seeing where Mars is in your chart, because that will tell you a lot about what might be coming up for you at this point in time, how you might be handling it. You know, just lots being trudged up, and that's okay. That's okay. Just knowing that that's what's going on and kind of coming to embrace it and coming to see it as you know, a challenge in the next step of your journey, that's going to inform you on who are you, what is it that's really underlying your passions, what is it that you're really seriously serious about, you know, what pisses you off, because a lot of the time, you know, we're looking at Venus and Mars, right? Venus is the planet of passion and Mars is the planet of passion. But Venus is the planet of passion from like open heart, love, like receiving, manifestation, like all of these things, just like boom, like I'm here, I surrender, it's beautiful. Whereas Mars is like passion from like, I am so angry about this and it makes me want to do something about it. And so that's kind of where this is coming in. Really paying attention to it and allowing yourself to get angry in a healthy way. Allowing yourself to scream, to make strange noises, to do some myofascial unwinding. If you don't know what that is, you can check out Remembered Practice on Instagram. She has some amazing videos about what it is. Always shifting. Yeah, you know, allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself to punch a pillow. Allow yourself to go kickboxing. Allow yourself to go for a run. Allow yourself to write an angry letter and throw it in the fireplace. What is it that you need to do to really express this? And I think that that's part of what the energy of this week was, and the Gemini new moon, supermoon, because when a moon is super, it essentially means it's just closest to the earth. And when the moon is closer to the earth, think about it. Think about how the ocean moves with the tides, right? And we'll be talking about this in my moon workshop on June 27th at the Wellness Collective at 6:30 p.m. For those of you in Grand Rapids. You know, we're made of over 70% water and salt. What is the ocean? What does the moon do to the ocean? It's supremely affected. And when the moon is closer to the earth, the magnetic pull is much greater, and the tides change with that too. The tides are much more severe when the moon is closer to earth. And so you can think about that as our tides being much more severe when the moon is closer to earth as well. Our emotional tides. And then you pair that with Mars going retrograde. You know, people think about, oh, it's the 17th, like nothing's going to happen until then. But really what's going on is Mars, it doesn't just like 1 minute in space, it's here, and then the next minute in space, it's here. Like it takes time to transition and do that backwards motion. So that's where we're at right now for the last like 2 weeks. Week and a half, somewhere in there, we've kind of been like slowly moving backwards, and slowly, like that rocket's been like, it's almost like the planet has a nice little rope tied to our rock that we're hiding everything under, and as it's moving backwards, it's pulling it with it. So it's like slowly, just slowly moving it all to the side and unveiling and trudging everything up. Let's see, Shannon says, I did that last night, screamed in the woods. Yeah, yes, you go. You go. Totally. So yeah, really, like, all of these things. All of these things, plus we still have Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter all retrograde still. Jupiter will shift over in a couple weeks and go direct again, and we're probably already feeling the effects of that too, so we have that on top of it. You might be really like confused as to why you're wanting to spend so much money on so many things right now, and that's that shift happening too. Why you can't seem to keep a penny in your pocketbook, and some of you might be feeling that on the spectrum of like, oh my gosh, people are taking all my money. And some of you might be feeling that on the spectrum of like, I have all of this abundance, and so I'm able to give it. Even though you're looking in your bank account, you're like, I only have $2. In the back of your brain, you're like, but I have 10,000. And so you're just like spending. So that's also going on. And then with Pluto and Saturn, if you haven't checked out the article yet on doorwaytoself.com/blog, you can read the article. I think it was posted in April about what's going on with those two planets and how they're affecting us in our shadow work and in facing ourselves and in blah 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 blah, and that goes all the way through September. So lots of stuff. So it's kind of like, we had that introduction back in March with Mercury going retrograde, trudging up like all our stuff with communication, making sure our communication was on point. We learned a lot of lessons in terms of that. And then Saturn and Pluto went retrograde, and we started like doing that deep dive into the underworld of ourselves and our emotions and etc. And now... And, oh, excuse me, Jupiter was before that. So it was kind of like communication, then dealing with like slowing down in business, and also slowing down to like see where have we been, where do we want to go, etc. There's also an article about that on the blog as well. I think I wrote about it the last new moon, the last full moon. So there's that. And then it was Pluto, Saturn, and now we have Mars, and then Jupiter goes direct. And while all of that's happening, guess what else? It's eclipse season. I love this stuff though, and let me tell you why. First, let me tell you what eclipse season is. Eclipse season, basically, if you think about it, what is an eclipse? Either you're covering yourself up, you're covering stuff up, or you are seeing what's hiding, or all three somewhere in your life. So let me tell you why I love all of this stuff, and then I have to go because I have a coaching session with the amazing Maria Palumbo. I love everything that's going on right now because this is how change happens. And that's kind of what's going on. Universe is kicking in and kicking up and saying, all right, here we go. Big change time. Ooh. And guess what? If we all, as individuals, have big change within ourselves, then we all, as a collective, have big change with each other. And that is really powerful. And two, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn are outer planets. So they affect the universal whole a lot more wholly. So we're being affected on an individual level and on a collective level massively right now. Good stuff. I wish I had gotten on here earlier because this video obviously needed to happen. But I do have to go. Before I do, I want to give a shout out to Golden Gaian, Breezy Scott, for hosting me on her podcast, which you can check out at goldengaian.com. The link is in my bio on Instagram, and I can post it in the comments on the video on Facebook right now as well. So that you can check that out. We go into kind of what is the doorway to self, not just as in this company, but as in your doorway. What is your doorway to self? And we also talk about the clairs and psychic ability and myofascial unwinding and all sorts of awesome thingamabobbies. And keep your eyes peeled for that article coming out. I may even do another video, honestly, because it's like just big stuff. So much love to all of you. Thank you so much for coming on and for supporting psychic education, and much love. Doorway to self, over and